There we go.
So, there we go. We're live.
There.
All right, guys. So we had a discussion before the show. We went live, and it was about Rocksteady and I were having a discussion about college athletics.
Friendly rivalry, we would say.
Friendly rivalry.
Yeah,
that's the way to start it.
You know, he's at the UK, Kentucky, blah blah blah. Rick Pitino cheater. All that stuff.
That's old history, man.
That's old history. You got to go Coach Calipari and all them.
Yeah,
Tubby Smith and all them.
You know that's like the Dallas Cowboy fans saying this is our year.
It's never their year.
No, it's not.
They haven't been relevant since Jimmy Carter.
Ooh.
Anyway, all right, so
man.
Ooh. I ain't gonna touch that one.
I'm not a Cowboys fan. I hate to say it, but I'm a Falcons fan, and that's about being a Cowboys freaking fan.
Y'all in the dugout still on Michael Vick.
No, well, that's because he took the dogs. So I mean, that's his fault.
Hey,
yeah, he let the dogs out. That's what happened.
He sure did.
He was the inspiration for that song.
Oh yeah,
yeah. See, we should have won that game. We should have won against Kansas City, but you can't win against the Chiefs and the refs.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I mean, we should have won that game against Kansas City. There were some calls that were horrible in the end zone that cost Atlanta the game.
Yeah.
And you're gonna love this. Guess what team I pull for the NFL? You're gonna love this. I'm not making this up.
Please don't say Tennessee Titans.
New Orleans Saints. The Saints.
They haven't been halfway decent since Drew Brees left.
I know. It's that's why when I was a kid.
Are they still in the NFL?
That's what I was fixing to ask.
They beat the Cowgirls. Hey, they beat the Cowgirls like bad at home. They beat them in Dallas.
That's like Madison Southern playing Berea.
That's true.
I mean, come on now.
Madison Southern.
Right.
I mean,
not quite that bad. Not quite that bad.
All these podcasts are always fun.
Rob, I do have a question. What color shirt you got on? Is that a Kentucky shirt?
No, me?
Rob.
No. It's Lake and Lure. That's my favorite shirt I won. I won it the other day, so gotta wear it. It's
I was
pretty
hoping to
comfortable.
see a Kentucky shirt on you. That would have been so much better.
That's closest blue you're gonna get, brother, right there. I have bet the wife before when Tennessee and Kentucky plays. So, we got our first comment.
No, Mom.
Rob, I wore my first UK shirt Saturday against Georgia.
That
you brought
did.
some luck. You brought some luck.
She owns one Kentucky Wildcat University shirt, and that's the one she wore Saturday while we were up there at Cumberland.
Hey, I brought some luck. She got to wear it of all your tournaments next year. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it.
Well, I'm staying in dog country next year though.
Oh, okay. But that
still makes it twice as better.
Yeah, it'll work. That's like when I go fish Alabama at Guntersville. I went to the Big Bass, wore my orange stuff every day.
Oh man, I'm surprised you didn't get drowned in Guntersville.
Yeah. Plus, I took their money, got one check and almost two. So yeah, surprised I didn't get drowned.
Yeah, that would have been. I hate to see that newsletter. Tennessee fan gets drowned in Guntersville.
Hey, you can't drown a Cajun, man. Yeah, ain't no way. I was born swimming, so it ain't happening.
You can't a Georgia boy because I sink like a rock.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's reel this one in and let's try to talk a little bit about fishing.
A little bit.
All right, go ahead, Rob.
Okay. Hey, man, I know you had a tough season like I did, man. Mountain was tough this year. I mean, I know you had a couple. We had one breakdown right there at the super tournament. I had two boaters not make weigh in, so it was tough. And the bite was real weird this year. I don't know if you noticed it, but like stuff I've caught on last year, nothing.
Yeah, it was definitely like the practices I had. You know, the first Del Hollow event, the 1st of March. I don't think I practiced for that one just because I think it rained the day before, didn't it, Rob?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
And, you know, my traveling partners are older guys. So, you know, the older guys, you know, if it's raining and semi-cold, they're not going to go out, which I was cool with. But I drew out a guy that was on day one of the tournament, Lee Sinclair.
Yep.
And Dale Hollow hammer, 100% hammer. And we pulled off the bank, Saturday morning, chit-chatting and whatnot. He said, look, I'm going to be scoping. He said, if I was you, I'd put a little 1/8 ounce at jig head on with a 3-inch Berkeley Gulp minnow. So that's what I did. And, I just hope and pray I'd get one. And I netted probably 16, 17 pounds in the first 30 minutes. I mean, he was catching some good, solid largemouth. And I literally watched him cull just about all of them out throughout the day. I'm like, wow. And I'm sitting there dangling my jig head off the side of the boat, just like praying, like, please eat, please eat. Yep. After he just kept him throwing, 3-pounders back, and I watched him cull up to 19 pounds.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy, learning different lakes, down here in Georgia to up here or up there, Dale Hollow and whatnot.
That's a world different.
It's different fisheries. We don't have bluff walls. I mean, it's, granted, Dale Hollow's deep, just like, Lanier and whatnot, but, throughout the year, the bite was finicky. There were some practices. I had great practices, like jam up practices. And going into the second stop at the mountain division, at the end of March, caught them halfway decent.
I saw you. Remember, I was out there in the middle of no man's land, and my boat was scoping, and I was netting.
Oh, yeah, I watched you net one. Yeah, I watched you net some fish over there. But,
yeah, I had plenty of net practice.
That second Dale Hollow event. What was that, John?
Your mom says she'll wear that shirt down there just for route.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But that second Dale Hollow event, we practiced. Caught a few fish. I felt like I could get by with some points in that event. Then my traveling partner, he broke out a Carolina rig. I had 0 Carolina rig stuff with me. I had the baits, but none. And that's odd for me because Carolina rig is like my go-to comfortable bait. And, mom and dad was coming back from Berea, and they stopped at Cumberland Bass Pro, and she was like, hey, you need anything? I was like, I need ounce tungsten, 3/4 ounce tungsten, swivels, hooks, and I need as many packs as, green pumpkin, blue brush hogs as you can get.
Yep.
So he rips out a Carolina rig. The first fish he catches on Friday was a 4.5-pound largemouth.
Jeez,
I'm like, all right, then. And I didn't throw it in practice. I just kept throwing a shaky head and an A-rig. And I caught a few smallmouth, slots on, A-rig and whatnot. So I knew eventually, I could probably catch some keeper smallmouth or at least get some shorts on the A-rig during the tournament.
Yep.
Well, I got my parent Friday night, and I told him, he's like, hey, I'm Kevin. I was like, all right. And, I asked him, I said, we scoping or shallow? He said, we're shallow. I was like, well, what are we looking at? He's like, pea gravel flats, rocky banks, rocky points. I'm like, deal. I said, I told, my head's going like, this is what we practice on Friday.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I rigged up 2 Carolina rigs, and I rigged up an ounce tungsten and a 3/4 ounce tungsten, depending on the depth. And, after I got off the phone, got everything rigged up, and I told Mom, I said, look, I said, if this is one that's going to go down for me to win, this is how it's going to go down. I couldn't script it to a T. I mean, everything went perfect. And then ended up finishing 6th. We talked about it before, throwing a $2,300 smallmouth back because it was a 1/2 inch short, which would have gave me my first win, and I would be qualified for Pickwick Regionals. But it goes. I mean, it's just, Dale Hollow's got those quality fish for a reason because of that slot limit. I mean, that's what the world record smallmouth rob's at.
Yep, still is. Yep.
I mean,
yeah,
not for long. I mean, there was one, Josh Jones just caught a 9-pounder in Texas.
Yep.
And then the other boy that y'all got on coming up just caught a 9, didn't
he? Yep. Oh, yeah.
I'm like, it's crazy, but catching a smallmouth like that was definitely the highlight of my season. That was fun. Granted, it did hurt to throw back a quality smallmouth like that, but
you got him on the line. You got him.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I probably could have got away with it because I've seen smallmouths weighed in that event. You know, that second Del Hollow, that was a 3 pound, like just a fuzz over 3 pounds. I'm like, that fish is over 16, but not over 21. I mean, there's, you know, but if I'm going to win one, I want to do it right. I couldn't. I'm like, as much as it hurt just to turn that fish loose, I'm like, it is what it is. I mean, when it's my time to win one. And that's the way I looked at it.
Absolutely.
But I mean, even the Cumberland event, I mean, I caught the snot out of them for 2 days on drop shot. I mean, I can't tell you how many fish I caught for 2 days. I mean, it was crazy. First day of practice, I caught a 4 pound smallmouth that was 20.5 inches long.
Yeah,
that's my
saw that
smallmouth on Cumberland.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
You know, I felt real good going into that tournament, catching them on drop shot. And then, you know, I had that blowout, you know, on tournament day, which, I mean, granted, that was my first breakdown of the year, but I mean, it happens. I mean, it's
it does.
Little boat maintenance things that need to be looked at. So,
oh yeah,
I want to get this up. Ned Rignelli says, "Crank it up, let's go."
Hey, you can see my boy Barker Rugers. He was in the hospital today, but he's out. And hey, man, glad you're back, and I hope you're healing up fine. And I'm glad the hurricane is east of you, man. So glad everything went all right for you, my brother, and I know you'll be out on the water pretty soon. Yep.
Wicked weights. Let me see those, John. What do they look like? Go up. Oh, those are, I don't throw them things, but they look good.
I don't throw them either. Off the hook outdoors. What's up, everyone?
What's
all
up,
right.
Rob, come on, man. Let's be honest. Those mountain fish will hurt your feelings. Thanks for the good wishes.
Yeah, somebody got schooled on a Ned rig, let's say in Kentucky a couple weekends ago.
Definitely wasn't me.
No. It was me. That's the only thing I can get bit on. But I got a slick little rig for a Ned rig. I got something to show you, man. It won't get hung up and it catches them.
Well, you need to come down to my neck of the woods next year and fish a BFL down in my division.
I'll be come up here.
Yeah, I'll be at Clark's Hill in the next month or middle next month.
Oh, that's right. You got the regional on Clark's Hill.
Yep.
That's going to be a slugfest.
Oh, I know. And I'm 24th in points right now going into Super, so I think I'm pretty confident.
That'd be a fun one. If you ain't throwing top water, you might as well. Top water and shakeheads is probably about the only two baits I throw.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm down with that.
What is you Southern guys with a shaky head?
Because it works.
Hey, shaky head has cut me more checks and more money than I had. Well, no, let me phrase that. That square bill 1.5 at Lanier in 2022 cut me my biggest check. So shaky head is just a confidence bait and a catch fish kind of deal.
Yeah,
it is. And there's some days they'll bite that better, and there's some days they'll bite drop shot better. So you got to get them both, and then kind of figure it out. But I've done pretty well shaky head.
Kathy Kennedy Stanfield says, "Sounds great, guys."
Oh man, she is a diehard Clemson fan, like legit diehard Clemson fan.
Lord have mercy on her.
That's what I'm just like. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I didn't want to have anybody see me laughing.
Lord, I apologize for that.
Yeah. But her and Mama, they were childhood friends, so they grew up.
Okay.
Together, so she's a real good friend of ours.
Rob just said, "Load up the bass bus and let's go fishing in the South."
I'm all right with that, man. Let's go.
I mean, we're starting Lanier off in March, so it's going to be that post-spawn, still catch them up shallow, pre-spawn kind of deal. So it's going to be Lanier in March is going to be a slugfest.
Kathy says, "Go Tigers." I think she's talking about the Detroit Tigers.
Not quite. A little further south.
All right, we're having too much fun here. Actually, I think this is pretty much how our podcasts go anyway. But
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but man, Rob on the Ned rig. Let's get back to the Carolina rig.
Okay.
Oh, a serious question now. I'm just starting to use the Carolina rig the last couple of years, and our shallow water is 12 feet. All right. What do you consider shallow down there?
Rob, I'll let you go first.
I'll do 6 foot and less.
So, depending on the lake situation, like I'll use my 2 home lakes, Lake Oconee and Lake Sinclair. Anywhere between really the seawall bank to 15-ish foot. I mean, we got some deep docks, and I could throw a Carolina rig down here all year round, except wintertime. I'll just upsize my leader just a little bit, and I'll just put like an old monster on. But like if I go to Florida, when I fished the St. John's for regionals down there in Florida, when Hurricane Michael was coming through, I was throwing a Carolina rig down there on shoal bars, and we were power pulled down in like 6 to 8 foot of water thrown up on shoals on the bars. And I had a 2 foot leader with an ounce tungsten. Like you'll hear, and then you'll hear my weight hit, and then 10 seconds later you'll hear my, see everything else hit.
Yep.
But it's just like at Del Hollow, I was throwing the exact same thing. My leader was, anywhere between 18 to 22. I mean, it was a long leader.
Yeah.
And, I had a ounce tungsten, and then I had a 3/4 ounce tungsten on. But really my Carolina rig is normally maybe a 12-inch leader.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get stupid with it. I just keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, I've had some older boaters school me at Del Hollow with a Carolina rig, so I learned early.
It's a crazy bait. I mean, that's like a confidence bait for me. And to pick it up only 2 tournaments this year at the back-to-back Del Hollow events, and I finished 6th out of the mountain, and then I finished 19th in the Music City division on Sunday throwing a Carolina rig. I mean, that's really the only 2 times I picked it up this year, and I cut checks both times.
Oh, yeah.
I got a stupid question for you.
Nothing's a stupid question.
Oh, this one is.
Oh, here we go. Uh-oh.
So, Carolina rig is a confidence bait, all right? And you cash checks on it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you forget Carolina rig stuff going to any tournament?
So,
this was a conversation before we went live, guys.
Yeah.
So I guess I wasn't expecting, going to Del Hollow in March, I'm expecting scoping.
Yeah.
Yep.
Scoping or throwing an A-rig.
Yep.
I'm not expecting shallow where I can literally throw on the bank in March. So I guess you can say I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, because that's a deep lake. That's a deep lake in a lot of spots.
Del Hollow is really deep, and I was not expecting my boater say, hey, we're going to be fishing shallow.
Yeah.
And I wasn't prepared for it.
So you don't fish a Carolina rig deep?
My deep is 15 to 20 foot.
Yep.
I mean, if my bait's not touching, that's
for down there it is. For down there,
yeah.
It is.
Well,
like Lanier, I don't throw it on Lanier, and I may venture out and try that this year because I've always thrown. I can catch quality 2.5, 3 pound, 3.5 pound spots on shakehead. I mean, that's a confidence thing for me. I can always get bit doing that. But I may venture out this year and try it a little bit just to see if that's something they will bite there. Just put just a Zoom trick worm on the back and just throw a Carolina rig.
Yeah. I've caught Carolina rig fish in 30 feet up here, largemouth.
Wow.
I've just never done that.
That's why I'm, and to me that's deep.
Yeah.
Because I fished. The deepest I think I've ever fished and caught a fish was a little over 90 feet.
Phew. Dang.
Hey, Ned Rignelli, you settle down, buddy. He says, settle down. For those of you who can't see this, because we do have it on Buzzsprout and a bunch of other podcast audio only. He says, Barking Ruger says, settle down, John. This isn't just another Potomac success story. We talking shell tonight, son.
Oh, he's on you, man. He's on you.
Oh, man.
Hey, he's feeling pretty good. He's feeling pretty good.
He's on me like a jock. My underbits are starting to sweat.
Woo!
He also says if their backs ain't showing, it ain't shallow enough.
Yeah, that's Louisiana. That's Louisiana style. There.
Sometimes that can be on Lanier too. I mean, if you can see them on Lanier, dirt shallow too, and the same way on Oconee. I mean, they can get stupid shallow.
I threw casted a spook out once, and not paying attention, I stuck a fish in the back as soon as it hit the water.
I'm glad you said that. Me and my dad was fishing on Oconee during the summertime, and we were going down the bank in a stump field up against the bank close to behind the house. And I see, like, I'm throwing a little Rebel R pop R, sexy mama, foxy mama, little pop R on an 8-pound test on a spinning rod. Yep. And I had this one just, swat at it, and I lean into it, and this joker starts stripping drag. And I'm thinking it's a humongous catfish, and I'm like fighting this thing for all it's worth. I get this thing up to the boat, and it's got a head of the size of a softball, and it was like a 50-plus pound snapping turtle that swatted at my pop-R, and I had one hook underneath his claw.
Yep. Don't mess with that.
And he never broke me off. And I got him up in the boat, took a picture with him, and I chunked him back in the lake.
Don't blame you there.
We used to catch him growing up for soup.
Yep.
James Minold says, "Hey, buddy.
What's up, man?
I'm working on some of my new baits in blue-black color for you."
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
I know what he's working on.
I figured you would.
I know what he's working on.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And them things are
spot on.
Jam up.
Cool.
I can't spill the beans. I told James I wouldn't spill the beans on it, but I know what he's working on.
Cool.
Good. Does he make plastic?
He kind of let it out a little bit.
Yeah, blue herring.
That's perfect because I got tournaments on Lanier too, so that's going to be jam up.
Sweet.
I'll
take a flight of an Ethiopian for a bit.
Yes. Woo.
He's. I don't know if the medicine's still kicking him.
He's feeling awfully chirpy tonight.
No, that's his normal self. He's feeling back to normal already.
Yeah, I don't think it's the medicine.
Yep. Oh,
that's what I like to hear.
Be on Clark's Hill soon. I'm about to look that up.
Well, Clark's Hill is a herring lake, so.
Oh, I hear you. Now, look, going back on this season, is there any place you caught a fish on a lure you haven't caught anything before? Anything you knew, maybe you caught, tried out, and it worked?
Cumberland was really the only time I picked up a drop shot really this year anywhere. Yep. And I caught fish on it. But as far as like out of the ordinary that I just happen to randomly pick up and that I don't throw, no.
Yep.
I caught fish on practice, 1.5s, shaky heads, drop shot. I had a good one at Cumberland on the second day of practice, smoke a evergreen shower blower. But I just first top water blow up of the year for me, and I just snatched it away from it.
Oh yeah, it happens. Funny you say that. I remember the first tournament on volunteer on Norris. I was catching shorts all day on the jig, and it was cold. It was kind of dreary. And my boater pulls up this marina restaurant, and there's a little open area, between the restaurant. And he throws a glide bait. He's got a limit, but it's small, and he's trying to upgrade. So he's throwing this glide bait. And I said, "Hey, man, you done with this? Can I throw it in here?" He said, "Oh, yeah, go ahead." Some reason I had an A-rig tied on. Never throw an A-rig. Never throw an A-rig. And I asked the guy, the tackle shop owner in Lexington at Backwater, Brad. I said, "Man, what do you throw on A-rig?" He says, "The Kitech Easy Shiner." Threw it out there, counted down about 7, cranked it, did about 7, and it just stops. I'm like, "Oh, man, I got a dock cable." And about the time I felt, whoop, 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 head shake. I'm like, uh-oh. Cranked it, 311. Had one fish, got big bass, and a one side pot.
That's crazy.
Today's your day.
Bite. It's fun.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it just stopped. I was cranking it and it just took. I was like, oh man. But yeah, that's a pretty awesome day. And we fished there's a waterfall back behind there. We fished it. And it's crazy because my boater was throwing I think he's cranking. And he caught some catfish line. And he pulled it up, cut it, threw it out there again, got some more. And he's like, man, it can't be that same line. Pulled it up. And he started pulling it up. He says, hey, something's on here. Pulled it up and had a half-ounce jig and about a 12-inch spot. And he already had a limit. And he's like, would that be legal? I'm like, I don't know. He says, well, it don't help me anyway. So he threw it back. so
here's my favorite Carolina.
Ooh.
That's an ultraviolet speak roll, ain't it?
Yep. Similar.
Similar.
I do like that black blue.
I do too.
That works.
You gonna mail me some?
What's that?
I say you gonna mail me some of them?
I'll have your address.
I can send it to you.
Oh yeah, he get it to you. I tell you, a sleeper bait I use is the old French fries. You know, the old French fries from Lake Fork and Zoom. That is an awesome spotted bass.
What's the late? You remember the Lake Fork tackle bags, like the old Lake Fork tackles, and it's about 4 inches long, and it looks literally like a centipede.
Yep, that's it. I think it's called a French fry or something like that. That's what I used to call them. But yeah, it's like just a straight piece of plastic. Just yeah.
But it's ribbed like a dead ringer though.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
I got a pack of those.
Dang.
I was fishing with a guy on Potomac River who had a very good finish using them with 1/8 ounce weight, just finessing it.
Yeah.
Good luck, James.
Hey, good luck, James.
Whack them.
Yeah, definitely, man. Tight lines out there, man. Good luck.
How come he hasn't been on the show, Rob?
We gotta get him on here. Hey, after he wins the Ozarks, we'll get him on. There you go.
I know. I want to see James on here.
Yeah. I mean, we're booked. I mean, on Wednesdays we're booking out until next year.
Yeah, December. Yeah, it's been crazy.
That boy fishes everywhere.
Does he?
Yes. I mean, everywhere. I thought that was bad. James got me beat.
Dang.
Now he's on to you, Rob.
Oh, I know.
That braid John has on the wall too. 30-pound high vis. You wouldn't want to throw those new free frogs on anything else.
Man. No, only if I'm crappie fishing, man, I'll use that.
There you go.
Hey, look at there. Hey, he's
There
down.
you go.
So.
Now, is he a boater or co-angler?
He's a co-angler.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. Hey, that's even better.
Yep.
Hey, Tuesday. Yeah, we'll throw some Tuesday dates at you, James, man. Appreciate it, man. We'd love to have you on, man, for sure.
Definitely.
Yep.
I wasn't going to ask if he declared himself as a woman, so I didn't want to ask from Monday morning.
Yeah.
Monday.
We get him on Tuesday.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
I thought he was a boater.
Oh, he's a hammer. He's a hammer.
Yeah, he helped me out a lot at Pickwick. You know, when I had the wild card down there last year, he helped me out a good bit and gave me some knowledge on Pickwick since I've never been there. But
Toyota Central starts there next year. I think they go Pickwick, Chickamauga, Gunnersville.
Pickwick, Chick, and Gunnersville, and it looks so good.
I was looking at that. I'm like,
I know. I
might do one or two.
I'm like,
I don't know. I'd rather stick to the Northern Division.
I would love to come fish in Northern Swing.
Let's go.
I would love
there's
to.
There's your invite. Yeah, I would too. It's
I
on the
always
list.
want to come up fishing Northern Swing.
I mean, you have Champlain, then you have St. Lawrence, then you go to the Potomac.
Which would you prefer?
Me?
Yes.
I love Champlain. I love the St. Lawrence. Either one of them. I mean, St. Lawrence, they had 3 bags over 30 pounds this weekend.
Oh, it's crazy. That was like nuts.
So when you go to the Champlain or St. Lawrence, what is your go-to key confidence bait out of the back of the boat?
I know what it is.
Besides a Ned rig or a drop shot?
Oh,
Carolina rig.
Really?
There you go.
What's on the back of it? Zoom ultraviolet speed crawl.
Nope.
Nope. Close though.
I mean, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I can't read it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you were down south.
I know we can't read down south. Rob can't either. They can't spell.
I know. I got my glasses on, man. I can't see anyway. Star lures. Star lures. Yep.
So what bait was that if it's similar to an ultraviolet speed crawl?
Star Lures has it.
That
Star
still
Lures
don't help me out none.
I'll send you the information on it.
Okay, that'll work.
There you go. Yeah, he does some good. He has some good looking stuff, man.
Hey, what's up, Rusty?
Hey, there's a Rusty, our old pal there.
Yeah. And John Adams, he'll if there's a color you're looking for, he'll mix it up for you.
Oh yeah, they got good looking stuff.
Straight braid to prayer. No.
What's your favorite time of year on St. Lawrence or Champlain?
St. Lawrence is now.
Right now.
Wow.
Yeah, for the fall.
Yeah, I mean that bag proves it, man. That bag over the weekend proves it.
Even before that, fall fest. You know,
Yep.
they feed in the fall.
So y'all's summer to fall transition is not like mine and Rob's fall to or summer to fall transition. Y'all's is like pretty steady, where ours is like kind of
thermocline and breakup and all that stuff.
But do y'all deal with late turnovers though? Like as bad as we do?
Not as bad.
Not okay. See, that's ours is in the middle of that turnover right now.
See, the river has a pretty good current going through it at all times.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Pretty steady until ice hits it. Then, you know. But no, it's let's see. Anywhere's from September to November. Don't be surprised. Like 3 30-pound bags this weekend. Henry Fristick, a past guest on our podcast, had 27 pounds, finished second place.
Yeah, that's incredible.
You know, and you know the elites come here in early or July. 20 pounds is getting you sent home. 20
Yeah, see, that's like Lake Lanier. It's crazy. If you ain't like summertime, once it starts, they start catching them big spots. If you're not catching 21, 22, you know, if you're not busting 20, you might as well not even show up to the scales. I mean, it's
wow.
You think you show up to the scales with 21 pounds and you're like, man, I got a bag. And then them boys dropping 23, 24, 25 pounds. I'm like,
you're not getting a check with 21.
No. Like, I've seen a 27, 28 pound bag on Lanier win of all largemouth.
Dang.
And that's odd for Lanier to win on all largemouth.
Oh, absolutely.
How would you feel if you were bringing 27 pounds of scales? You know, you're riding back, got 27 pounds.
Oh, I'd be tickled. You know what?
Then come to find out you didn't win.
Yep.
I'd be like,
I'd probably be butthurt, but at the same time, I'd be tickled.
Be grinning ear to ear.
Yeah. Knowing for a fact I can't catch 27 pounds down here.
Nope. No.
I mean, back in 99, I think it was, I caught 21 on Lake Erie. Then the next tournament I had my day one I was in my day one I had 24 something and got knocked down to 23 something because of dead fish.
That's impressive back of the boat, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
strong.
I think my biggest bag out of the back of the boat's almost 12 pounds. It was 11 and a half, maybe.
Yeah, our waters are completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, catching 11 and a half pounds out of the back of the boat down here is that's pretty solid.
Yeah. If you're on the St. Lawrence and out of the back of the boat,
I settle for a 30 bag in each regional, nothing crazy. I don't know if you catch a dirty 30 on Clark's Hill, I'd be
pretty strong.
He does have that laughing emoji.
Yeah.
But and he's got the title Mr. Sod Pot, man. He has knocked out a bunch of sod pots this year, man. Hats off to you, James, man. You've been on fire this season, brother. Hey,
I think I'm gonna enter I'm gonna enter them next year.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't feel confident, not fishing the lakes this year as much just because I haven't lived up there in 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So, but since I'm coming back home next year, I think I'm going to jump in side pots next year.
Absolutely, man. Do it. I mean, I've won a few and said I had one. I was in that regional you follow. I was like 77th. And,
yeah.
Our buddy called me, hey, you won. And won what? I zeroed day one. So
you won some depression pills.
Yeah, after my inflatable PFD went off on me, and then day two I was bailing out my boater's boat, and every time we stopped, that was one to remember. Oh, look at there, we got a big announcement.
Oh, Rusty's jumping to the boater side.
I was waiting for him to make the announcement. I've known about this for a little while.
That's awesome, dude. Hey, hats off to you, man. I hope I get paired with you next year, man. That'd be awesome.
Maybe a
Champlain. Rusty's a hammer out of the front of the boat. I fished team tournaments against him, and that boy's a stick. I brought him to Lanier, and he showed me up on Lanier.
Ooh.
First time he ever came to Lanier, he catches almost a 6-pound spot, and I'm like, are you serious?
James Wheatley said he's fishing out of the front of the boat next year.
Man, the guys are making a big jump, man. Go ahead, guys. Congrats, man. It's a big jump.
The kayak.
Yeah, Rob's going to fish BFLs out of kayaks.
I do it. Hey, I've caught a 4.5 on Linville. You know how small Linville is.
Yeah.
So, the sudden of that kayak, man, I don't know, but it fits me. So, I'm going to do a little bit of both.
Have you ever thought about jumping in like the KBS?
Yep. I'm looking into it for next year. I got a couple of things I may jump into, but I'm gonna do a little bit of everything next year. I mean, it's still early, but I'm having a lot of fun in it either way. So I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I got a question for you, Rob. So,
okay, go ahead.
I think y'all should absolutely use FFS and floggers.
FFS and floggers. Oh my goodness.
So, out of your whole mountain division, volunteer division, if you had to pick who your favorite boater was, or like your best boater for any tournament this year, who would it have been?
I had a bunch of great ones. Surprisingly enough, I think Matt Stanley, because we broke down toward the end of the day. Dude was cool as heck. Didn't throw, didn't cuss, and he was like, "Hey, my buddy always finished second. He's gonna win this." Hats off to him. And then
was that the one at Del Hollow where he had 25 pounds?
Yep.
Oh, yep. That hurts.
And he was cool as he could be. And then what was cool when we was driving back, he was just kind of easing back. This bald eagle flew over like 6 foot over our heads. It was like me and him just kind of went, wow.
That's pretty neat.
But no, he was a real cool guy. And if we didn't have that problem, he said, "Man, I know scope is gonna be a long day for you, but with 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I'm going to go to this little cove and you get, some keepers," and just didn't make it. But I think, I mean, I've had a lot of great ones, but he was cool as heck, man. I mean, that showed a lot of courage or guts. And, but yeah, it didn't faze him. He's like, I'll get him next time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's impressive, man. And he's a stick. He is a stick. Good guy.
How about you, Rock?
Man, I've had some great boaters this year. I'm gonna have to, as far as like learning behind somebody, even though I did zero, Lee Sinclair. I mean,
yep.
Jam up guy. I mean, to this day, I mean, we talk, just about every other day. I mean, I was talking to him today. I sent him the link, so I'm hoping he's an hour behind. So I don't know if he's chimed in or watching yet, but Lee Sinclair, I mean, I learned a lot scoping, watching behind him, even practicing for Cumberland. I mean, I was in the boat with him on Thursday, and I never stepped foot in the back of the boat. I was up there sitting with him, watching him scope. And
cool.
Then, me able to scope as well, after he catches one, I'd take over the trolling motor and I would try to learn in the process. Yep. And, that was a fun day in the boat. I mean, we probably had 15, 20 doubles, Thursday, and it was it was fun. I enjoy fishing with Lee. At Del Hollow, he's always told me, after I left, I said, "Dude," I said, "Man, it was great meeting you. You're a cool guy." He's like, "Dude, anytime you come back up here," he said, "I got an open seat in my nitro." He said, "Anytime you want to come up." my second boater my first boater in the Music City, Jake Mattingly, he works, up there at one of the marinas, and he does a lot of work for Bradley Roy's boat. Young kid. I mean, when I first met him at the Music City division, he's like, man, I just got back from my honeymoon. I'm like, huh? And this kid's like 18, 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
A very, very future of this sport. I mean, this kid's a hammer. I mean, he can catch them. I was able to catch 3 behind him while he was scoping down in Mitchell Creek. And he was still close enough to the bluff walls where I could throw a Carolina rig. So I was able to catch 3 behind him, and he lost some good ones out of the day one of the Music City division. That probably would have gave him a run for it. And then Kevin Snyder from Tennessee, my boater from when I finished 6th at Del Hollow at the end of March. I couldn't ask for a better boater. I mean, he did what he did. He pulled me up, gave me opportunities. I caught him. I mean, it's just cool. And then, Cumberland, I can't remember my other boaters from Cumberland, and Barron, Barron was tough. I mean, it was mid-90s heat index of 100. Water was 90 degrees. I mean, it was brutal tough.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like the worst tournament ever. But, I mean, as far as my 3 best boaters would probably be Jake, Lee, and then, Kevin. But I've had my traveling partner, Charlie Crisp, great guy. I'd link up with him anytime. And then Garrett Moon, practiced with him on day 2 at Cumberland for the, super tournament. Really cool dude too. He stayed with us at Barron, and I met some great guys this year, Isaac Petey House, Christian Nash, all them boys. They're hammers. I mean, they are straight hammers. And there's a reason why they're fishing the NPFL. I mean, they're good.
So David Archibald said if MLS had a national small boat circuit, I'd be all in. Smaller lakes.
Yep.
Ernie Freeman was a great boater for him.
Oh, okay. Well, I've had a second place when I fished with a guy I fished with Toyotas a couple years ago, Vernon Lowe. And that's a guy, I think he had like 24, 25 pounds. And it was cool because, he was on a pattern. I caught a couple, 2 or 3 decent ones behind him. And he had this one stretch of bank. I never forget. He missed a couple there. And coming back, he's like, you know what? I can't call anything out. You fish this bank. Dude literally run the trolling motor, let me fish that bank. He didn't fish. He just run the trolling motor. And
that's how my boater was.
Yeah. And I fished with him. I fished with him at Del Hollow this year too. I think might have been Mountain or Music City, but it's cool though when you get the same boater again. I've had it happen a couple times. I had a guy from Nashville. We had a really good time, and first tournament of the year, he's like, man, I told my wife, I said, no, it ain't no way I got robbed again. I thought that was some old message, and he was thrilled, man. He caught one right in front of Star Point, like a 5-pounder, like with 5 minutes to go. It was cool, but we had a great day, man. Yeah, I still talk to him a lot, and great guy.
You mentioned the future of the sport. I was on the Potomac for our super tournament. Actually completed this one. And my day 2 boater, 19-year-old kid, Shane Bass from New York, great kid, handles the boat well, handles the trolling front well, ask questions, pertinent questions.
Yeah.
He didn't have a chip on his shoulder. He carried himself well, spoke well, all the respect. And, we talked about my boat accident because I have use the motorcycle helmet.
Yep.
And so every time we went over something that was a little rough, he's like, hey, you okay? You okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, that's cool.
I just, I can't say enough good things about him.
Absolutely.
That's just like, I fished the BFL on Sinclair as a boater this year.
Now, is that St. Clair up north or St. Clair?
No, it's Sinclair, Sin, S-I-N, Clair.
Yeah.
It's all one word, S-I-N-C-L-A-I-R, Sinclair.
They call it Clair. It's a sin they call it Clair.
So I decided to jump in that one as a boater this year, and I ended up practicing, and I called my link, said, hey, you care if I use the nitro? He said, I'll bring it up Friday. So he came up, stayed Friday. We went and practiced Friday, and I was off the water by 12. And I knew what I was wanting to do. You know, I told Dad we practice up the river. I was like, I'm going to live or die up here in the river. And I got some spots closer to the ramp if I needed it. That was my backup plan.
Yep.
The day before the BFL that Friday, we went out, me and my link, and I was just trying to get bites. That's all I was wanting. Get bit, leave, catch one maybe, and then leave. Them fish wouldn't let go of a shakehead Friday, the day before the BFL. I mean, they were chewing. Like, I would pull them literally almost all the way to the top of the water, and they would still have hold of it. And I'm like, you ain't letting go, so I'll go ahead and set the hook on it. Well, when I did, it was 2.5, 3 pounder. I'm like, what do I do now? Yeah. And it was everywhere. I mean, it was crazy. So I told my buddy, I said, look, my best 5 went almost 13 pounds. And I'm like, look, I'm good. I mean, I know what you're going to do. You know, I know what I'm going to do. I said, let's get off the water instead of sore lipping them. So get my pairing, you know, Friday night, I draw a young kid out. Fishes High School, Trenton Henderson.
Yep.
One of the best co-anglers. You know, granted, I've only been a boater twice, but by far one of the best kids I've ever had as my co.
Oh, hey.
Fishes High School. Yes, sir. Always calls me Mr. Robert. He's, jam up kid. He's definitely a future in the sport, and we still talk to this day. And it was his first BFL, so I knew as a boater, I wanted to get him fish to walk across that stage for his first BFL.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I ended up catching 5 for, I think it was right at 8 pounds. Not the weight I was thinking that I would have. You know, I fished the same depth, same everything. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if the fish pulled back.
Yeah.
But, you know, I did everything I could. You know, I did what I did Saturday on Friday. It's just I couldn't adjust. I didn't know if they pulled out or they just moved. Yeah. But I caught fish everywhere we went. It just wasn't the quality. The size, you know, the limit fish are there. It's just my size left.
No kickers.
And I ended up, you know, I ran back to my starting spot, and then I told him, I said, look, we're going to run back to my starting spot, and then we're going to run back up north. And when we ran back up north, he ended up putting 3 in the boat. And then with 10 minutes to go, I pulled into a pocket with 10 boats in it. Dang. The second dock on the left, I pulled up in there and I flipped the shakehead on the 3rd pylon up against the seawall. And I caught a 2.5 that called out one of my small ones. And I'm like, I don't know how many times this dock's been hit. And, you know, I backed up, power pulled down, and gave him an opportunity. But he's like, dude, he said, you're one of the best boaters I've had. I'm like, I'm the only one you had. I mean, it's your first BFL. But, you know, I was able to show him, and he asked questions throughout the day. I mean, jam up. I mean, he's going to fish a full season of BFLs next year on top of high school tournaments. And I think I'm going to help him out as far as BFLs this year and try and get him. I think he's going to travel with me to Eufaula and state if he can get out of school. But I think he's going to come to Eufaula, and I'm going to do as much as I can to help him out and have him a successful season next year.
Awesome.
James Wheatley says, PB House took me down a bank to make sure I'd have a keeper in our Super 2 years ago, just to make sure I had made the regional, because he knew scoping was going to be a rough that day. Absolutely top-notch guy.
PB House is a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
And Rusty drew him out at Smith on day 3.
Yep.
So I'm not a big shaky head guy.
Nope.
Actually, I don't think I've ever thrown one. And no, I've thrown a little bit. But when I'm practicing, I'll cut the hook right here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just so it goes into the bait. And then a little dab of glue.
Yeah.
On there, so it locks the bait onto it. Never caught a fish on it.
Oh, hey.
Never hooked a fish with it.
Come south, you catch them.
It's for
practice. Yeah, come south. That'll change.
Oh yeah.
No. That's just for practice.
Oh yeah.
See, I don't. You know, as a co-angler practicing, I mean, I'm swinging.
Yeah.
And I know Rob's the same way. I mean, I'm swinging.
I mean, I haven't practiced for a tournament in 2 years.
Yeah, I ain't had time to practice, so I feel you, man. To show
Sometimes
up and
I feel like it bites me sometimes.
yeah, especially changing conditions. Like it's rainy all week, you get to Saturday and it just changes totally different, and it throws you off. Or you shallow all week and you fish Saturday, it's deep. You know, sometimes I think it's about 50-50, seems like.
Yeah.
Barky Rugers wants to know, what's your favorite and most versatile plastic on a shaky head?
Mine's going to have to be Zoom Green Pumpkin Magic Trick Worm or Green Pumpkin Blue Trick Worm, or on a Magnum Finesse Trick Worm.
Yep. I've used that Z-Man, that shaking my head, that B-lat worm, and real good on Cumberland. They got like a bluish purple color called mood ring or moon ring, and I've done really good on Cumberland.
Moon dust.
Yep. It's like a purplish blue, but yeah, I caught one of my keepers when I fished 14th fair last year. And of course, you know that Z-Man plastic floats up, but that head he's got and that plastic has been spot on for me. But yeah, and then versatile, I have used like I said, speed crawl. I've used speed crawl on a shaky head before. I've used a Cinco. Used a Cinco one year, and I went from 46th to 45th on one fish on Barron. And it was a tough day on Barron, and I got one fish and made it. So that's my two.
I can't give you mine because I don't have one.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
All right, your besides your Ultra Vibe Speed Crawl lookalike Carolina rig, besides the bait you showed me.
Hold on.
And James Whitley says, I'm not practicing for either regional, just going to get there the night before and go swinging on day one. Same way here, James. I'm going to be, if I'll make it to Clark's Hill, that's what I'm doing. So here you on that.
Y'all going to have a blast.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be
forward to it. And he says, don't sleep on the hula grub on shaky head, fellas. Interesting. I've tried it on like a jig head. I never did on shaky head.
I've seen my boaters do that on Lanier in the late February, start of March. I've seen hula grubs on jig heads.
Yeah, I've seen them on Cherokee like that. And some older guys, that's all they fish. Pretty cool.
Would John have to go dig in his tackle bag?
You got him on a mission now, man.
I got to find out because I want to come to a northern swing.
Oh, yeah. Bags and fish are pulling in. Let's see.
All right, I got a piece for you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he got a G-Man Bass Nation event, or a six-man. October 11th and 12th on Clark Hill.
Wow. I think I'm there the weekend after, so I'm close. I'll have to check out, see what you do, man. Save me some fish down there now. And then Barker Hurgans was a hula grub. That's an old Yamamoto. It looks like a tube, sort of, but it's inverted. Like the front of it's like a. Oh yeah, it's like a.
That's like a Berkeley flatworm.
Yep. Tail's a little different.
Yep.
But yeah, Ruger, the hula grub, it's almost like a reverse tube. Like it's got little tentacles at the front where you hook it onto the front of the bait.
Twin tails on the back.
Twin tails on the back. But good little bait. It's been around forever. There you
Cinco.
go. Ooh,
no,
look,
isn't.
Nope.
I'll tell you why I don't use a Senko for it. This is a Star Lures, okay? The Senko's sinks.
They're heavy. Yeah, they're heavy.
All right, they weigh 3/8 of an ounce.
Yep.
Okay. These ones, when they go down, they go like a Senko will go like this.
Mm-hmm.
This will go.
Oh, kind of choppy, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the drop rate is a lot slower. Rusty, yes, it is Goby like.
Yep.
I'm in New York fishing, and we have.
Woo, man, he's on you like white on rice, man.
Man, my jack's starting to itch.
Uh-oh.
Speed.
Oh, that's old. Yep, I like that. That's old school.
I'm almost similar to a speed worm.
Yep.
And those do work good on shaky head, too. I've done the speed worm on shaky head.
Now, this one may surprise you a little bit.
Uh-oh. He's digging deep.
I just asked one bait, and he brings out the whole tackle box.
Dude, I'm
You see
telling
his bait wall back here? He's
I
got a bigger
know.
one than I got. Ooh.
That's like the
Z-Crawl, sort of.
yeah. But I'm
But
not
it's
going
got
to
a
say
flat.
it's a Z-Crawl.
No, it's got a flat. It's got flat on these. I like that flat spot on each
I
side.
do too. Is that another Star Lures?
Yep.
And that two color.
Are they looking for partnership down south?
Maybe.
I don't know. I'll send you the information.
Sweet.
Yeah, good guy.
Yeah, John Adams.
Because those are some sharp looking baits. I like them.
Yeah, two-tone, man, was sharp. I mean, that was nice.
Do you ever use chartreuse plastics?
Yes.
I figured you did. I'll be right back, buddy.
See, I know on Lanier, well, since John's left, I can talk to you, Rob. But I know on Lanier, you got the 5-inch yum dingers.
Yep.
Well, I figured out on Lanier that they'll eat the green pumpkin with the chartreuse dye or the two-tone.
Yeah.
But they'll also eat it if you just dip the tail as well. So it's really tit for tat, Ooh, I like that one.
There you go.
Green pumpkin.
From just showing in the picture, you can't even tell it's two-tone.
Yeah,
Like the joint.
Yeah. Mixes.
It's
He
like
mixes
it's
it in
all
well.
one piece.
I asked him, got his bass voice and everything.
Oh man, he's on him. Oh man, that's smallmouth candy right there.
That's crack smallmouth candy.
Yep.
Fish
That's
starting
sharp.
for the Rockies is bootlegging, ain't it?
Hey, our boy's feeling good tonight, so I'm glad, man.
Same here, man.
He's feeling good. He's feeling good.
Man makes some great baits.
Oh, absolutely. But hey, Rock, real quick, what do you think you're going to fish next year? Are you going to do BFLs down in Georgia? Are you going to do anything besides that? Are you going to maybe sneak in a Toyota or some more boaters?
Champlain Northern.
I'm probably going to stick with, I'm going to fish the local Bulldogs next year. Lanier, we start the year off at Lanier at 1st of March, come to my home lake at the end of March.
Yep.
We finally get to go to Eufaula, Alabama in spring. So we're there May.
Yep.
And then we come back to my home lake in June, which is going to be a grind, but you can still catch them. Luckily, it's a 12-inch size limit, so it's not as bad. And then we end the year at Lanier at 1st of September. But
now, you know what you could do is go to be a co all year and just make the wild card and go in the wild card as a boater.
depending on where it's at.
Yeah, I know, depending on where it's at.
I mean, I really want to find out where the wild card's at this year, but I got other things scheduled, and that's kind of holding me back. But it's something that needs to be done. But I got one more tournament this year, and then I'll be done till 2025. I got a team tournament. It's a benefit charity tournament this weekend on Sinclair.
Yep.
And it's a 60-40 split. So my buddy called me and asked me if I wanted to fish it. So I'm like, it'll give me one chance to try and end the year off strong,
absolutely,
end it on a good note. So, but I think 2025 is going to be, I'm going to spend as much time focusing and, something different I'm going to do this year. I'm going to get a notepad, and every practice day I'm going to write down weather condition, water temp,
Yep.
I'm going to keep a note. And, because my dad, I can't remember one of his, relatives, they kept a book. Like every time he went fishing, he stepped foot on the water, he was writing stuff down in a book. And I feel like, that'd be something that I could do to try and, look back on in previous history, well, this is how I practice for this kind of day, and this is what it's going to be on tournament day. This is what I need to do.
Yeah, I mean, I could be part of your tournament prep right there, man.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
So, I'm taking, I'm going to practice, Lanier, I feel like I can catch them, 1st of March, pre-spawn, they're going to be up shallow. You can probably still catch them in the ditch. But, Lanier, I feel comfortable. Oconee, I feel comfortable. Hopefully Eufaula, they'll be kicking up dirt in the mud and not out scoping.
Yeah.
But you can probably catch them out on ledges, and I know how to catch them out on the ledges, throwing a half-ounce wobblehead with a 10.5-inch blown apple worm.
And bunch of brush piles out there too. I noticed that when I was down there.
Yeah, very bunch of brush on Eufaula. But
Yep.
I think I'm just going to stick home next year. Support get some more support with the local businesses. Get them to come out. Try and make a run at AOY. I really want a good showing next year. I'm going to try and have a halfway decent season next year where I ain't got to struggle to come up and try to make regionals. So, and
Absolutely.
regionals sets up at Seminole next year. They stuck 2 of the best divisions for Grass Lakes on Seminole. They stuck us and Gator Division on Seminole next year.
Oh wow!
So there's going to be some hammers on Seminole next year.
Oh, absolutely.
So, now, what's your plans?
Let me hold on a second, Rob. Let me expand on that. What I used to do is what you did, talking about taking notes, but I'd have a notepad for each lake.
Yeah.
Because each lake is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that way, like if you're going to Sinclair, you don't have to go through like 30 pages of notes not to hit before you hit Sinclair.
So you got a notebook for each
lake.
Lake. So you got your own notebook for Champlain, your own notebook for St. Lawrence, your own notebook for Potomac.
Makes it easier to find, I'd say.
That's not a bad idea.
I used to. I don't do that anymore.
No.
It's all up here.
Yeah. All right. Jan says your mom says you can catch a gator on Eufaula.
I have caught a gator on a frog in Eufaula.
Oh,
and my boater has done the same in a BFL on a frog as well.
Yeah, we heard there's one creek. Yeah, there's one creek down there. Some boaters said there was gators got a hold of some hogs, and there were some chewed up hogs on the bank.
There's a gator at Eufaula named Old Charlie, and if he's not 12 to 13 foot long, I don't know what is.
Shoo.
He's a giant, and I've seen him practicing up in Kawiki before, and he's a stud of a gator. He's big.
Dang, that's great. That's great, granddad, right there.
Yeah, just think all the leather and gator tails you can get off of him.
And boots. You have boots for like the whole month.
Yeah.
Man, Ruger's on you tonight, John. What's... I'm not going to comment on that one.
I'm not touching that one.
No commento.
Hey, Joe. How about you go up and get that gator out of Eufaula for these young
Hey, there you go. There you go.
I didn't get to finish. All right. And then what I would do is after the tablets got chiseled, I would put the pertinent information, the important stuff in a file on the computer.
Oh, you kind of condensed it. Okay, yeah. I got you. It makes sense.
Yeah,
you're good, man.
Yeah.
You're good, man.
And then what I didn't do it. Chisel. You're right. I got that blue heron out there holding by its feet.
Yep.
But then I would upload it to the cloud or do it on like a now I would. I didn't back then because we didn't have all that fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Back in the Flintstone eras. And
John, they're fishing off the ark with me, I guess. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, we're the reason there's gators left, man.
That's true.
Yeah, the hook.
But yeah, for next year, man, I'm gonna do some BFLs. I am gonna do some kayak stuff. So I'm still kind of wide open, but I'm having a whole lot of fun in that kayak, man. I'm telling you.
I'm anxious to see how you do in the KBS next year.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get and USA Bassin. I didn't know the USA Bassin has kayak events because they had one at they had one at Cedar Creek, like right down from where I work at. I'm like, dang it! But I'll get there next year.
All you need is a Mag 2 Scuppernong Texas rig and go find that road bed and then just sit on the backside of it and throw over it.
Hey, we was down there Saturday, me and my buddy, and I got quite a few on a Squareville, but we forgot it's like opening day of duck season, so it's boom, 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 boom.
Oh yeah, that's.
So I'm like, yeah, it was pretty rough, but then it rained, kind of scared them off, so it kind of worked out. So it's all good.
All right. Well, we've had a great conversation tonight. We're over an hour into this.
Yep. Hey, time flies. You having fun, man?
Yep. But John, are you gonna fish any Northern Swing BFLs, or are you just gonna do like Toyotas up there?
Me, I'm just doing Toyotas.
Toyotas
makes sense.
Like if I might fish one or two of the BFLs, but I don't like that 7-hour drive.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough, dude. I don't know how you did it.
What's the closest Toyota to you in the Northern Swing?
St. Lawrence, 3.5 hours.
It's not bad.
So you don't have anywhere you sleep in your own bed at the house?
Not next year.
I'll have to look at the Northern Swing schedule and see what it looks like. Because that's a haul for me.
July 26th, 27th, and 28th is Champlain. Mark that down, Rob.
9, 26, 27, 20. Wait, where's my chisel and my stone at? I got to find my stone.
Hey,
John, you're gonna have to text that date to me.
I will. I'll text you. I'll text you the whole schedule.
Okay. There you go. Hey, there you go.
But yeah, we're trying to get a group of people together and go do that and fish one tournament together next year.
Yeah, I'll have some more time off. So, yeah, I want to do that, man. I'm going to at least do one up here to you. So, man, if we get a big group of us, that would be a blast.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be a blast.
I mean, if it was Cayuga Lake, I know a place that sleeps 11.
Cool.
And real close.
Yeah. But
that's good cookies.
Did I tell you what happened at the Potomac? I was talking to one of my friends, Devon Kitson, and I asked him, because he fishes Northern Toyotas and stuff like that. I said, hey, you want to, get a house together? He comes out and says, is your wife coming and baking cookies? I said, yeah. He goes, all right, I'm in.
Well, we got like 8 folks staying with us at Eufaula.
Oh, wow.
Because we rented a duplex, already for Eufaula, and we got like 8 folks staying with us, and,
There's Rusty. Hey, Rusty's on board, man.
Heck yeah. I about had a daggone rat run across my foot out here sitting under the carport.
Look out now.
Yeah. But, splitting a house 8 ways or a duplex or whatnot, that helps out. Dad cooks a big low country boil the night before BFL. So, I mean, we throw down pretty good the night before BFL.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And your dad's a heck of a cook, man. Let me tell you. Your dad can
Rob
cook out some vittles. Oh, yeah. He can throw out some vittles now.
Mongoose, you know how far the drive is. 2-day drive. It'll be worth it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you leave on a Saturday morning, get up here.
And Kentucky's halfway, probably. So you stay in Kentucky, one night and finish it up.
Yeah, you and Rob can come on up together. It's only 10 hours. Hey, it's only 10 hours if you drive fast enough from Fort Campbell.
Wonder how he knows that.
Yeah.
Let's just say I was I thought I was going to be late on leave.
On
leave, but I forgot the time zone.
Oh no! So you're there an hour early. Man,
I made it an hour and a half early.
Dang, dude, you was cooking it.
An hour and a half early is better than an hour and a half late.
Hey,
yeah, especially on that. Yeah,
better than 5 minutes late.
Don't want to do that.
No, but no, we'll definitely talk. He'll leave the cave fire burning for you.
Oh man!
Waiting for some gator claws. Bring them up, Joe.
There you go.
Hey, you can bring your family up. It'd be a nice vacation for him during the summer.
There you go. Yeah, he's been up to Michigan, so he's been up kind of in that area a little bit. Yeah. So.
No, we'll definitely stay in touch through the off season and stuff like that. And I'll send you some information and stick around after the show or send me your address and I'll send you some baits, bud.
That'll work.
All right.
Fellas, I'm glad y'all got me on for a recap of some ups and downs on my season this year. Hopefully, next year be pretty good season next year. I got a feeling.
Oh yeah, be close to home, man. You know those lakes, so yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. They'll be tuning in, following you, see what's up. But I know you're gonna do good, man. You moved the needle this year. You just had some bad breaks. I did too, so it happens. But we got all that out of your way now, so it's all good.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anybody you want to say thank you to? And
oh man, oof. Thank you to mom and dad. I mean, they've been my support since I started tournament fishing. Couldn't do it without them. They've never missed a weigh in. All my sponsors, I know it's a bunch to name. Chris Peters Electric, he's been with me since day one. Southern Trace Outdoors, Fish Head. I got a couple silent sponsors. AG Backbone Baits, he's been with me from probably 2-3 years. Mixed Up Baits, he jumped on halfway through the season about a year or two ago. It's just the help of them guys. I couldn't do it without them. The love, the support they get, the calls, the texts, telling them to keep my head up, even after a rough tournament,
Oh yeah.
I always try to, talk to mom and dad and say, hey, what do I need to do? How do I, because dad's been fishing as long as I have. He's taught me everything I know since I was 3.
Yep.
And I haven't looked back since. We fished team tournaments together growing up. And, that's who started me. And, that's who I can call and say, hey, what would you do in my situation? And, he's helping me rig rods, he's giving me tips. He's giving me pointers. Hey, you need to do this, or, have you done this? Have you tried this? He's always, testing me, to see what I can do to improve. And, even, when I fished a wild card tournament in Missouri, they drove 12 hours. They drove all the way from Georgia for 12 hours. Watch me lead day one of the wild card going into the final day. And I stepped off the boat trailer and tore my ACL after day one of leading the wild card. And I missed the wild card by 6 ounces. I finished 7th. I needed one more fish, and my boater stood on the boat in the rain for 2 hours, holding the net with no rods on his deck, trying to get me one more fish to make the All-American. Not many boaters would do that fishing for the same thing I am.
That's a good guy right there.
I had my chances. I had my chance at the Ozarks, and then I had my chance at Smith to make day 3 at the regionals at Smith Lake. Finished 16th. I came up 6 ounces short on day 2, or making day 3. But, without them, I couldn't do it. I mean, the support and love they give me is just 10 to none. I mean, I couldn't.
Absolutely.
Diane Butler, I mean, her husband passed away with COPD and emphysema. Definitely a hard subject to talk about. But she gave me a necklace with a cross with his birthstones wrapped around it, and it has his ashes in it. And I wore it at Cumberland to, because he's always riding with me. I got a bracelet on my wrist with his picture in it. He's my boat angel. He's with me 24/7. And, I wanted to take him for a ride on the boat, and that's what I did. And he's going to be riding with me next year. I'm going to have the necklace on every tournament next year. And he's going to be right there with me through the ups and downs, the good and the bad. I mean, he's going to be there. But I'm looking forward to next year. I'm going to make it a run, see if I can't make something happen. But it's going to be fun. Go ahead and tell them about that in October. So I'm having ACL surgery in October.
Okay.
Hence, I've been dealing with it for 4 years, since 2020. And it's finally starting to get to me. And they say I have a medial meniscus tear as well, but they did say that they're going to go in and repair. They're going to do a cadaver donor ligament and repair my ACL, and they're going to go in and take care of whatever else they need to with my meniscus. So I may be down for a little bit, but he did say I could go back on short term to work right afterwards. Just I got to be careful with, if I slip one wrong way, I could tear something else. And, with the job I do, Rob knows, working in a hog farm, one small slip, and I wipe out, I'll be right back in the hospital doing it all over again. So, but, I'm gonna fish this one more tournament this weekend. October 10th is a tentative date, unless something changes. But right now, tentative date is October 10th, and then that's when I'll go under for surgery. So that's how I'm gonna end my 2024 season, is with one more tournament, and then I'm going under.
Yep. Hey man, you'll bounce back, man. You won't be down long. I know you, man. You'll be bounced back quick.
Now I gotta get that leg fixed, because that's the leg I stepped back and set the hook on them Carolina rig fish. So I gotta get it. I gotta get it well before next year.
Absolutely, man.
October 10th is my birthday, so.
Oh hey, look at that.
Well, I'll think about you when I'm in the hospital. How's that sound, John?
You'll see a picture of your knee when you get done.
Yeah, I'll send you I wish I could take a selfie and I'll send it to you, but I can't.
Yeah, I know.
That's all right.
It's all good. It's all good.
You know, maybe the way things are going, you might be able to get a GoPro in there and have the whole thing recorded.
Oh, I got one. That'd be sweet.
That would be pretty cool.
They probably won't, because of liability. If they mess up,
probably not.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably have to sign a waiver saying, if we screw up, we won't. You can't sue me.
Yeah.
But no, anyway. Man. Hey, thanks for coming on. Stick around a minute afterwards. I want to talk to you about something. And
all right, sounds good, brother.
All right.
Hey man, good to see you. No man, just, glad to have my buddy, and I know you're gonna do good on the surgery, and I'll be praying for you. And man, I look forward to you next year, man. You're gonna do great. But yeah, stick around, man. We'll talk to you in a couple minutes here.
No, I appreciate the love and support, guys.
All right, man. All right.
It's always a pleasure, man.
Man, that's fun. I mean, you talk about fly by, it's like an hour went whoop. But that was a blast. And glad to see our boy Barker Rugers. He's not missed a step, man. He's on you. So he's not missed a step. So he's back to his old self again.
Dude, he's double timing on me.
Oh, I know it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, let's see. Yep. Hey, he knows all about them surgeries, man. What you went through today and him on here, that's awesome, man. We appreciate you, brother, and glad you went good. Yeah. So,
hey,
yeah, we'll behave. We'll behave.
Hey, Barking Rugers. Hey, glad you're back, buddy.
Absolutely. Oh, got one more comment. See. I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna touch that.
No. Hey, I'm glad the penile implant worked for you, buddy. Gotta go. Bye.